Okay, should be all good. Looks like it is. Okay. Well, back to trying to figure out how to do these last few, which I'm gonna go with least steps. What was least time again? 23. I'm gonna go with least steps. I think I'm gonna go with that one. Which is it better to just go the normal way? Or to try and get the thing done? Why am I doing it like that? Okay. We want to go boom, boom.
The experiment is nearing its conclusion. The
And
enrichment
then
center is required to
can I reach
remind
it
you
from here?
that you will be
Yes,
baked,
I
and
can.
then there will be
Aha!
cake.
Completely forgot that I need to go to the side there. I always forget. We'll get it into again. Okay, 1, 2.
The
That's
experiment is
even worse. Plus, I died. I will get this.
the experiment is nearing.
Hmm.
The experiment is
Okay, there we
nearing
go.
its conclusion. The
I
enrichment
can't reach
center
it
is
from here.
required to remind you that you will be baked, and then there will be cake.
One day. One day.
The experiment is near.
I'll get it one day without also launching myself off the edge.
The experiment is nearing its
Okay.
conclusion. The enrichment center is required to remind you
Now I
that you
can't
will be
actually
baked, and then there
see
will
it.
be cake.
Right. Right there. There we go. Every single time. You gotta be close to the edge. Closer to the edge.
The
At least.
experiment is nearing its conclusion.
Uh,
The enrichment center is required to remind you
you know
that
what?
you
I'll
will
take
be
5.
baked, and then there will be cake.
Can I see it? There it is. Do that. And then this. And I'm gonna drop. Then we go up there. Drop here. And then we go up there with blue. And then we go orange. Orange. To get us over here. Let me give myself a save point. Save. There we go. Just try and see if it's any good. Now I'm gonna do this the normal way that I do it. So orange. Now we get sent. I'm gonna stand here for a quick second. Now grab that. Ha! Yeah. Okay. Just bam. Bam. Reason. Bam. Okay. At least I have that safe. It gave me an even better one. Okay, now we go. Go. Yes. Orange. Now, again, I'm going to stand here for a second. Wait until I can't see that at all. At least try and get onto that if I need to. I didn't need to. Okay. Blue. button, orange. Now, what was my target? My goal's 85. Ah. Huh. I can probably do better. Okay, I can do surely better than that. If we go over there, and we get sent over to here, and that's 30. 32. Now, we'll quickly do that, so I don't have to peek out again. Now, go. Thank you, game. Now, orange goes there. Move that over there real quick. So I can just go boom. Now, blue. Orange. Blue. Orange. Blue. Orange. Orange. Blue. Orange. Blue.
Well done. Be advised that the next test requires...
That was so close. Load game. That one. It should be in this room. Surely I can do better. No, not really. I mean, close. Quite close. And there's 77. Can I go over more? That is over as much as I can get. Then we go blue. Okay, orange. So I want to go blue here. Blue. Then blue. I need to look down. If you don't look down, it messes up with your being able to see for some weird reason. Blue there. And orange on there.
Well done. Be advised that the next test requires exposure to uninsulated electrical parts that may be...
Damn it! I'm so close. I might have to go back to this load and try and get at least a little bit better. No, load this one. Try and do a little better. Blue. Damn it. Yeah, this has got to be where it's taking quite a bit of my thing. Okay, ow. Don't see me, don't see me, don't you dare see me. Wait, also, blue. Orange. There. Now, orange. There's orange, so we go... This is actually blue, so it's actually good. Actually, I should have done it there. Then I would have popped out here and I would have been able to go straight into here. But anyways. Orange. blue. Then we go orange. Blue. Blue. Orange. Blue. Orange.
Well done. Be advised that
Yes,
the
we
next
84.
test requires exposure to uninsulated electrical.
I was in. Load game. What was this? Load. Okay. Orange. Blue. Blue. Come on. Orange. Blue. Orange.
Well done. Be advised that the next test requires exposure to
Yes!
uninsulated electrical parts that may be dangerous
I did it!
in certain conditions. For more
Now all I
information,
gotta do is
please
time,
visit an Enrichment Center
and I'm
electrical
good.
safety seminar.
How I'm gonna cut down on time, I do not know. I mean... at least time. I need to do it in 1 minute and 13 seconds. Doing it the way with the camera was fast, but can I do it faster the other way? I guess I'll see.
The experiment
That one I
is
won't be able to
nearing
wait for the
its
thing though.
conclusion. The Enrichment Center is required.
Okay, come on.
The experiment is nearing its conclusion.
Orange.
The
Blue.
Enrichment Center is required to remind you
Blue.
that you
Blue.
will be baked, and then there will
Orange.
be cake.
Yeah, that one didn't work. I didn't hit the thing. Okay, come on.
The experiment is nearing its
Orange.
conclusion.
Blue.
The Enrichment Center is required
Blue.
to remind you that
Orange.
you will be baked, and then there will be cake.
Orange. Blue. Orange. Blue. Blue. There we go. Hit the button. Damn it. Ow. I didn't do very well there. Well, I get another try. So, that's a plus. Ow, 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 ow. Ouchies. That hurts. Not very nice. Okay, blue. Ow. How am I dying so fast this time? Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. What's blue? How are they? Why am I dying so fast? Okay, orange. Yes. Quick. Save game. Here. Save. That didn't quite work. I didn't get to pull back enough. Okay, blue, orange, hit the thing. Actually put the blue there. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Not gonna be fast enough. No. It's really not. I need to be there now. Hmm.
Well done. Be advised.
Okay, minute 25. Before I did. Minute 25. That's actually about... That's what I did before. Huh. So it seems using the camera in that way is about the same time. I could probably cut down a little bit that way by... Hmm. Better give me a save point. Once you open that up and go through there. I don't think that's going to be enough. Stay on least time. We're going to... Oops. Cancel. Load game from our save here. Probably cut down a bit of time there.
Weighted storage cube destroyed.
I know the storage cube was destroyed. So was I. Okay, there we go. Now we go blue, orange, hit the thing, orange, boom. Through we go. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. Orange, blue, blue, orange, orange on that thing, blue here, blue there, orange there, and I need to be there now. God damn you, game. God damn you.
Well done.
Still about the same time. I cut down about 12 seconds. Okay. I don't know if I can do much from here. I can get here before 35 seconds. That would work. There. Orange. Orange. Blue. There. Orange. Blue. Blue. Orange. Blue. Blue. Orange. Orange. Blue. Okay, I mean, I cut it down by a few seconds.
Well done. Be advised that the next test requires
Yeah, I cut it down by like
exposure
3
to
seconds.
uninsulated electrical parts that may be dangerous under certain conditions. For more information, please attend an Enrichment Center Electrical Safety Seminar.
How can I save 9 seconds? Think me. Think. How can I save? I mean... Let me try the camera one again, the camera strategy. I have a quick idea.
Is nearing its conclusion.
It would save me at
The
least a few
Enrichment
seconds.
Center is required to remind you.
Whether it would be enough, I don't know, but it would save me a few.
The experiment is nearing
Okay,
its
orange,
conclusion.
blue,
The Enrichment Center is required to
blue,
remind
blue,
you that you will
orange.
be paid, and then there will be pay.
Damn it. Let's try again.
Experiment is nearing its
Okay.
conclusion.
Orange,
The
blue.
Enrichment Center is required to remind.
Don't talk about it.
The experiment is
Okay,
nearing
orange,
its conclusion.
blue,
The enrichment center is required to
blue,
remind you that you
orange.
will be baked, and then
It didn't work.
the experiment
Okay, so we
is
go
nearing its
orange up there,
conclusion.
blue down
The
here.
enrichment center is required.
Keep getting shot out of it. Too far. Too far, game. You're going too far.
The experiment is nearing its conclusion.
Okay, orange,
The
blue,
enrichment center is required to remind
boom,
you that
orange.
you will be baked, and then there will be
Okay,
cake.
orange there, blue here, boom. And then we go orange there, blue here. And then blue here. Okay, blue, blue, blue. Gotta shoot blue. Gotta shoot the blue thing. Okay,
To
boom,
ensure the safe
boom.
performance of all authorized activities, do not destroy vital testing apparatus.
Okay. Kill me. Real quick. There we go.
Not destroy vital testing apparatus.
Okay. What? Why did it save me? God damn it. That means I need to load game. Where was the last one? Okay, back at here. Okay, that's what I need. Because I need to go like that, and then... Not that. So we need to go here, and then we need to go here, and then there we go. Now... Save game. Save it there.
Destroy vital testing apparatus.
Okay, now I need to get the... Load game, this one.
Vital testing apparatus.
Nope. Load game, here. Load.
Not destroy
Come on, you'll get it to work at
testing
some point.
apparatus.
One of these loads it'll work.
Not destroy vital testing apparatus.
You know what, that might work. That might just work. Okay, orange there. Quick, blue. Orange. Orange, come on. Orange. Blue. Yep. Orange. Blue. Blue. Orange. Blue. Orange. Damn it!
Well done. Be advised.
So close. Game. Load game. This one. This is my best bet
Does not destroy
so far.
vital testing apparatus.
Nah. Okay. Load game. This one. Load.
Does not destroy vital testing apparatus.
Okay. Let's see if that works. So we then go blue. Damn it. Okay. Load game. This one.
Does not destroy vital testing apparatus.
One of these will work. Trust.
Does not destroy vital testing apparatus.
Okay. Now, blue. Nah. It'll work at one point.
Destroy vital testing apparatus.
One of these types. I don't think that one's gonna work. Also, hey Pookie, how are you doing? And I'm doing pretty good. Just... Pardon me, you're trying to do the last thing, which is the time one. Which I've gotten within, like, 5 seconds of doing it. I'm good, just playing Monster Hunter... I can't remember the last one, but the Monster Hunter thing. So you're playing that with your friend that you got it for the other night? Did you end up figuring out what went on? Now I gotta go load game over to this one.
Destroy vital
And
testing
surely.
apparatus.
Come on. I don't know if I'm gonna get another good run. I mean, what was my last one? Where was this save? In here. I don't think I'm gonna get much better. I also did that wrong. Yeah, I'm not gonna get much better than that. So yeah, I gotta try and get a better run from here.
Destroy vital testing apparatus.
Okay, let's see if this works. I don't think it is, but... Plus it's too slow. I need to do it within like a few seconds of loading in here.
Testing apparatus.
Let's try that. I don't think I'm gonna have much luck, but... Nah. Okay. Load game. This one. Load. Okay, new strategy. Wait. Maybe. Something. I don't know. No. What else can I do?
Destroy vital testing apparatus.
I can throw it. You know what? I'll take it. I'll take it. See if that works. Mean. No, we're not playing together. I decided to start by myself. Okay. I guess at least you can make a start, and then you can sort of, I guess, learn everything for when they thing. I never wanted to play today. Okay, so it was just yesterday they wanted to, well, they said they were going to then. Oh, right. Load game. This one. Golly.
Vital testing apparatus.
Don't think it's gonna work. I just gotta get lucky, honestly. Gold game. This one.
Destroy vital testing apparatus.
I mean, this is the closest one I've had.
Destroy vital testing apparatus.
I mean, it was only faster by a few seconds. But it was faster nonetheless.
Destroy.
I've put 150 hours into Switch, which isn't too much, but I'll probably be seeing more hours into my PC save. Okay, so you have played Monster Hunter before then. Yeah, I want to play Monster Hunter at some point. Don't know when I'll get around to it, but yeah, I think Unicorn has... I think close to 1,000. I don't know if that's in, like, if that's all of the Monster Hunters combined or if it's a certain one. I think. I could also be wrong. I think it was something around there. Or maybe it was in the hundreds. I can't quite remember. Either way, I know it was a bit. Game, please. Please, game.
Vital testing apparatus.
Load this one.
Not destroy vital testing apparatus.
You know, I'll go for it. Nope. I didn't think it was properly. One of these days. One of these times I'll get it. One of these times it'll sit right. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Damn you, game. Damn you.
Vital testing apparatus.
Okay. I think the great strategy, or the best strategy I'm gonna have, is throw it, have it bounce around, and then get it to lean, and then go. Okay. There, and then blue, and then, yep, and then orange, and then blue, and then, yep, and then orange, and then blue, blue, orange, blue, come on, please, orange.
Well done. Be advised that the next test
Yes!
requires exposure
I
to
think
uninsulated electrical parts
I've
that
done
may
it.
be dangerous under certain conditions. For more information, please
Portal's
attend an
100%
Enrichment
done.
Electrical safety seminar.
That took a while, but it's done. You know, these last two only took like half an hour. And we're all good. Nothing more to worry about. So now, I made sure to download Half-Life last night because I knew it wouldn't take me 3 hours to do those last two. So now, I guess we'll start Half-Life. Which, Half-Life doesn't have any achievements. Or at least not the original. The remake probably does. I know Half-Life 2 does. Whether I would try and 100% them, I have no idea. But now I can quit Portal. And how many hours have I now got in Portal? I've got 17. My first playthrough was about 2. So like 15 hours. We'll say about 16 hours to go to 100% Portal, which isn't too bad, I feel. Now, Half-Life. Where is you? A, B, C, D, H. Half-Life. Here we are. Play.